All right, here I'm at the Oculus at the World Trade Center. I just left the PATH train from Newark International Airport. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk to Pier 11, the foot of Wall Street. I'm going to give you a little narrated tour as I go. That's a kind of cool shot. And the reflection in that window is actually One World Trade is right there in that reflection in the window. So if I come around the corner here, just to give you a point of orientation. So as we come around the corner, this is One World Trade here. Which is right there. So if you're in World Trade Center Plaza and you leave the Oculus building, you're going to head to your right, which is heading south. And we're currently in Lower Manhattan. And this is going to be about a 12-minute walk as I narrate this through. So again, World Trade Center Plaza is to my right, and I'll give you a tour of that on another day. We're going to come down here, go about a block south, and then we're going to make a left-hand turn. There must be some type of bicycle race today because it is it's May 7th, 2023, and there are bicycles everywhere. Okay. So now we're going to go one more block. Again, to your right is the World Trade Center Plaza area. We're going to come up here to this park where these trees are up here to my left. And we're headed to Broadway, which is a main artery that runs from the north of Manhattan Island all the way down to Battery Park. You can catch surface buses there. There's underground train subway systems that go from uptown to downtown. But it's a nice Sunday morning. We're going to take a little walk and just try to be very careful when you cross the street. Because I'm visually impaired, sometimes I'll cross with other people because I can't see. But today it looks like we're doing okay. All right, we're going to cross. I'll cross again. And this park here to my left is the park that became famous because this is where the Occupy Wall Street movement happened, which was here. So if you look down here to the right, at the end of that street, you'll see down that way is St. Michael's Greek Orthodox Church is down that way. And I'll show you all that another day. But we're going to turn left and walk adjacent to this park. So we're walking up to Broadway. Now you'll come across food vendors selling hot dogs, cheesesteaks, wraps, french fries, soft drinks. People selling souvenirs. Anything from t-shirts to hats. Yeah. And then you have your food vendors right through here. Just look on the side of the vehicles and it'll show you what they sell. Always watch your step. I call this the red teepee. I don't know what the actual name of this is, but this lets me know that I'm approaching Broad Street. And I'm going to turn right because we're going to walk down to Trinity Church and then turn left to go down Wall Street. Yeah. So you can see the sidewalks are really wide and clean. Again, this is a Sunday morning. And you can see Trinity Church approaching here on my right. This actually is gorgeous at night. They have some scaffolding work going on. But the Trinity Church is going to be my landmark, so that way I know that I need to turn left up here. But this is the oldest church in Manhattan. So this area of Manhattan would have been called New Amsterdam. And Wall Street, where we're going to turn on, would have been the northern border of Manhattan, or New Amsterdam. So we're going to continue to move forward. So directly in front of Trinity Church, we're going to make a left-hand turn. And we're going to cut through here on this zebra walk. Being visually impaired, you have to look for these textiled surface areas to let you know that it's a down slope. And you can see that they have taken down all the scaffolding that used to be here. I'm going to turn around so you can see Trinity Church when I get down here towards the end. So I'm going to slowly turn, and you can see Trinity Church there in the background. Now I'm facing west, and east is directly behind me. And as I pan back this way, the building to my right is going to be the New York Stock Exchange building. And unless you work in that building, you have business in the building, or you're an invited guest, you're not permitted to enter. And we'll come around the front. And the JP Morgan building is the building directly in front of me. And they recently had renovations. Last time I was here, they had scaffolding up. And they still have scaffolding up over here in front of George Washington. But we're going to see what we can make out around here. So, now we're at the corner of Broad and Wall Street. And I'm going to come around. I'm gonna come over here, get out of people's way. So as I pan, that is the New York Stock Exchange right there. And there's something interesting right down here. And this is a pedestrian thoroughfare. It's cut off to traffic unless they're going to the stock exchange, but there's security barriers blocking this whole area. So right over here you can see the stock exchange building, and I'm gonna wait, but there's something very interesting right here. So what's really cool right here is this is the Fearless Girl right here. She used to be at the foot of Broadway, where the Bull is located, but they moved her here. And what's really cool is if you look, she is basically standing in front of the stock exchange saying, "You're not going to move me. You're not going to control me," which is really kind of cool. So now we're going to move forward. So we're coming back up. You see the building directly in front of me and the statue of George Washington. This is where George Washington gave his inaugural speech and was sworn into office as the first president of the United States, which is right here. And there's George right there at the top of his podium. All right, so now we're going to turn right and we're headed to Pier 11 at the foot of Wall Street. The reason why we're heading to Pier 11 is if you're interested in taking a cruise out of Brooklyn, going from Newark Airport to the cruise ship, this is your quickest and most economical way. All the way from Newark Airport to the cruise ship is going to cost you $19. Sorry, I take that back. It's going to cost you $18. And if you catch the trains on time without any delays, you actually can do the whole trip in about an hour and 15 minutes, which is what average an Uber would take you. But an Uber cost taking to that point could be anywhere from $60 to $140. Doing it this way, I get a little nice walk, but it's only going to cost, again, $18. $11.25 from Newark Airport to Newark Penn Station, $2.75 from Newark Penn Station to World Trade Center, and then $4 from Pier 11 to the cruise ship terminal. And literally where the ferry boat drops you off at, you are 2-minute walk to the cruise terminal. I'm going to pause this because of the sun. Alright, so again, I've gone from Broadway, turned down Wall Street, and I'm continuing to walk down Wall Street, looking for bicycle traffic as we cross. And we're just going to walk this to the foot of Wall Street, and then to your right hand side is going to be Pier 11 Wall Street ferry dock. In a big city, you always got to look for construction, so I'm going to cross over to the other side. Still walking down Wall Street. Coming up to a bigger intersection. Now visually I can't see. I can't see if there's a crosswalk other than the marquee lines here on the ground, but I can't see if there's a pedestrian signal to allow me to walk. So I'm gonna be very careful. It looks like, thank you. They were kind enough to stop. A good indicator is other people walking, or you just wait and walk with people. There's plenty of restaurants along this short walk to grab a coffee, a Danish, something like that. And we're approaching the East River, which is only a block away. I have another intersection I have to cross. There is stop traffic. We're gonna kind of wait and see if these guys go, and then I'm gonna go. All right. So the overhead bridge system, we're actually gonna walk underneath that and make a right-hand turn, and Pier 11 ferry terminal is going to be right there. It's not a bad walk. Seems like it's a downhill walk. Very easy. I have a rollaway suitcase with me, a carry-on size. Now he's crossing the street, so I'm going to follow these guys. Looking for bicycles. All right. This is the East River. And we're heading to the ferry dock. Here we go. New York City ferry system. Which, here we are. So, if you look, there's these floating marquee signs. So, the ferries don't always stop at the same location. So, you have to go in after you buy your ticket, and you can buy your ticket through an online app, or there should be a kiosk machine over here. You also have pay ride bicycles over here, and then you have a main marquee, which is here, that'll tell you where everywhere is going. And I am looking for South Boston, or not South Boston, I apologize, South Brooklyn, right here is what I'm looking for. And then you see it's a touch screen, so I'm gonna pause.